What's going on, Chuds? It is Red Tide Politics here on Jimmy Cobson, and I'm here to talk about the On Point Politics drama and mostly my testament, a part of this drama, and what I have been involved into it. It started out around 2 months ago for the Testers On Point debate. I was a moderator in that debate, and I asked On Point some very interesting questions in that debate. I asked him about his model and his testament and why he should be correct. In that debate, Tester argued that he was correct, and he put some really good proof into it. During that debate, Tester was deemed the winner in the recount, just due to the fact that it was a tie, even though his audience is biased and voted for On Point Politics. Now it comes to this. During the third episode of the On Point Politics podcast, once the American guy known as the Faroe Islands guy said the N-word. After the StreamYard, On Point Politics decided to say the N-word 3 times. Now, I recognize this just due to the fact that I was in the background of the StreamYard and I noticed that he said it, because I approved from my desktop, which I sent to Jimmy Cobson himself, of me being backstage, and since ended at 44 minutes and 33 seconds, the same time that the On Point podcast had concluded. Now, this guy I've known for quite a while, just due to the fact that I was one of the most active members in his Discord server, which went sour as soon as some people tried to frame me, saying that I leaked the link to the StreamYard where he would be concluding the On Point podcast. That was proven false. One thing that On Point does not know is that the StreamYard link was already leaked before. I did not know that at the start, but I noticed it now. One thing I will say is that I have no involvement in leaking any links. One issue of that is that he tried to frame Tester and me trying to argue with 15-year-olds online. Coming from a guy that's 20 years old, that is not very good. I've made several statements on my YouTube channel, on my community page, saying how he was a fraud, and the things that he's saying that is completely ridiculous, racial, and out of pocket, making sexual statements, which we'll get to later, and a bunch of other things, arguing with us. Now, at this point, it is just wrong for him to be arguing with us and trying to say that he did nothing wrong when we confronted him on 9/29, September 29th. He did not ignore the fact that we were wrong. He never corrected us in any way. Once confronted, he deleted his Discord server in its entirety, which is interesting from a guy who says that we're losers and that we are wrong. Never said anything about that when once multiple of us confronted him, including Vader, Tester, and Jimmy Cobson himself. Once Jimmy Cobson went into the DMs of On Point, trying to get an interview for him, he tried to deny the fact that he wanted to do the interview, saying for him to ignore us. Knowing Jimmy Cobson, he did not do that. Instead, fought for the fact that he thought that On Point was in the wrong. This is just a very interesting fact, just due to the fact that he was the one being told about these allegations, and you would think they wanted to help his career and maybe show that he was right. He did the opposite. He hid, tried to say that we were immature, saying that we were trolls, saying that we raided his server with keyword fake screenshots. There was nothing fake about him saying that he wanted to do stuff, and I can quote it here. "I'm not going to expose you for trying to seduce me. I will not stick it in. I will not eat you out." In words from On Point Politics. Him trying to say that those were fake screenshots, trying to uphold this record, is not right. I would rather have you tell the truth about your record. Basically calling Jimmy Cobson a clown, saying that he does not have to look like the clown by not posting the video of us getting interviewed. Interesting, huh? Saying that we are kids when we're 15-year-olds, when he's the one trying to argue with us by being a 20-year-old adult. Trying to say that his mod, or admin never ending error, was involved. He never was involved. I have screenshots of him saying that he did not want to be involved, and I have proof of him doing that, which I will share later. The overall message of my involvement in the story is of his racist remarks and things that he said to me, Tester, and others. Him not watching out for his identity and saying things that are just completely out of pocket, as you heard me quote from him himself. Now, have we done something wrong? No. Has he tried to frame us? 100%, saying that Tester doxed somebody? Saying that just a bunch of other things, bullying us, trying to intimidate us into trying to hide our voice, as you heard from Tester. Now, OnPoint has a history of supporting sexual and very bad things. One of which is SoCal Populist, or known as SoCal Strategies, which OnPoint has supported, as you saw in some of his videos, doing collaborations with them to do a pollster for the 2024 election. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There is something wrong with him supporting SoCal Populist, which is known to do sexual things, bullying, supporting gambling in one of his videos, which is from OnPoint, and also supporting a pedophile for office in Texas. Tester will get more into that just because he knows more than me. I do, whether in fact, have knowledge about this because I was starting there and noticed that he did support that. We do not have proof of this as of now, but there is remarks that he has said showing that this data is in fact true. And we can easily back it up. Those are my remarks on the racial situation due to OnPoint politics, and we'll take away to Tester or trying his best.
What's up, chuds? I'm Tester is done. Tester for short, and I would like to share my side of the story when it comes to the OnPoint politics drama. I started off being friends with him a while back, and I jokingly challenged him to a debate after hanging out on his Discord server for a while. He unexpectedly took me up on this challenge, and then I proceeded to trounce him in a debate. After that, things soured between the two of us, but I only really started to dislike him when he banned Red Tie from his server over doctored screenshots depicting him urging me to call into OnPoint Politics call-in stream. Later on, I went out and used his gubernatorial prediction, which had Robinson winning after the scandals dropped, as a joke in the first minute of one of my videos. Despite this being a joke, it appears as though OnPoint never actually saw the video, as he sent his fans to try to dislike bomb me and leave me nasty comments on that video. The actual results of this aside, this was a real attempt at trying to bully and silence me. This childlike behavior has no place in the election YouTube sphere, and for a 25-year-old man to attempt to silence a channel about 100th of his size is beyond parody. Adding on to this, one of OnPoint's associates, SoCal Populist, is another highly controversial character. Initially, SoCal posted verified screenshots of Never Trumper and candidate for Natchitoches County, Texas precinct chair Ryan Cook pursuing little boys with the intent to molest them. However, the story continues as for no reason whatsoever besides the desire to garner attention, SoCal posted doctored screenshots of Ryan Cook, which gave him a plausible deniability and derailed our efforts to keep a pedophile out of office. Despite this, OnPoint appears to still somewhat regularly collaborate with SoCal and hasn't condemned him putting a pedophile in office. My final point is that despite none of us actually showing any interest in him whatsoever, when OnPoint was invited to a chat filled with people who were clowning on him, his first reaction was to act as though we were flirting with him, bringing up bizarre pornographic language about him refusing to, quote, eat out one of the group's members in a chat filled with people who were 10 years younger than him. Regardless of what you believe, this is an absolutely abhorrent thing to say to a group of children, serious or otherwise. The fact that sex and porn were the first things to come to mind when trying to respond to a group of children making fun of him is highly suspect. With that, I'm Tester, handing off to Jimmy Cobson.
What up, chuds? I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the video because now it's my turn. To begin, we're going to start with the gambling situation. For over a month at this point, every single video made by On Point Politics has included a link to the sports and politics gambling website known as betonline.ag. This is a highly suspect website with difficult to understand rules, high minimums, and it exists in a legal gray zone, as despite it clearly being geared towards American customers, with it taking dollars and betting on American sports, it's actually based in the small Caribbean island nation known as Antigua and Barbuda. As a result, American law doesn't actually apply to BetOnline. Despite it being available in 49 states, the site includes things like an online casino, which is only legal in 6 states, and an online lottery system, which is only legal in 8 states. Why this website isn't IP banned, I could not say. As On Point Politics has refused to give me any information, I could only try to contact BetOnline, which also declined to comment specifically on On Point and try to redirect me over to their virtual gambling tables in their online casino, a crime in the state that I live in. I can't directly prove collusion as both parties refuse to give me any information, but I can say that it's a highly suspect situation. In what world is it acceptable for a YouTuber with over 50,000 subscribers to go out there and partner with a literal gambling website that refuses to comply with American law? We rip on YouTubers like RiceGum and Jake Paul for directly promoting gambling to children through questionably legal loot boxes. So why is it okay for someone to literally promote a bona fide gambling site, complete with bets on everything from a virtual lottery to horse racing, to just get off scot-free? I say this because On Point Politics' audience is very young, and children are very impressionable. And since this guy's channel is an absolute echo chamber, further strengthening the grip he has on his audience, and since the election YouTube scene as a whole skews towards people around the age of 15, many of the kids who watch his video will probably grab their mother's credit cards and waste a ton of money betting specifically on Trump, because On Point Politics, the guy who many of them will listen to on and on and on so much, is predicting a 350 electoral vote landslide. In my opinion, On Point should go out there and issue an apology video, followed by either removing all mentions of betonline.ag or issuing an age restriction on any of his videos that mention betting on that website. This is highly unethical behavior on behalf of one of the community's larger members, and it creates a bad example for other users to look at. Given that he does this so consistently, is On Point being paid by betonline.ag? I can only assume so. Why else would he constantly plug a random betting site that allows people to bet on the same elections that he talks about on his channel? The more I think about it, the more disgusting it gets. And the fact that no one has called him out on this is insane. That said, the wellspring of information has unfortunately run dry. This video was quite an undertaking that took a good few weeks of researching and putting together. It wasn't easy to find the information that I found, but I'm very grateful that we managed to at least build up a case that should ideally require a good explanation. If you're watching this, I want you to share it with larger creators like Let's Talk Elections, Red Eagle Politics, and Real American. My goal is to create a better atmosphere for people who are interested in electoral analysis, and we can't do that with people who are acting unethically like On Point Politics. With that said, Cobson out.